Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Eye Candy Orange. This is a single to double stroller and I'm changing my methods. So I've got a little rating system here that I've made up. This is the very first time I've used it. You can see that I've already written on it over here, so there will be changes, but it pretty much has the safety, the ease of use, the comfort, the storage, the durability, design and style, price value, and some things that I've personally noted when I've used it. If you watch this review and realize I've forgotten something, please don't forget to comment it, because that's going to really help me make better pram and stroller reviews. The harness is a 5-point breakaway harness. It is more of a traditional harness, but it does have a nice feature where it does stay mostly together unless you give it a little bit of a yank, and then it does break away into 5 pieces. That makes it really easy if your toddler or baby is wiggling about, so you can just clip it in quickly and put the whole harness back together. The brake is a foot brake and relatively easy to flick on and off in single mode. However, it does get a little bit challenging in double mode. But this can of course be a memory thing where you know exactly where it is and you're able to find it. It really just depends on what kind of configuration you have. The fold, I can't say I love the fold. It just scrapes the front of the pram. So lift these two up and it just lays down like that. So you can fold it with the seat on or off. If you do fold it with the seat on, it's a bigger fold of course, but just remember that the frame is suitable for 2 seats, therefore it's a bigger frame, it's going to be heavier. But if the seat is on, the safety is on the inside here, so it's hard to find to open it back up. So once you've laid it down and scraped all of the front of your pram on the ground, you then find the little folding safety mechanism here and pull it back up. I did a comparison of this stroller and a few other strollers, and their fold sizes are in those videos. It is a pretty big size, and because the seats don't fold in half or anything, if you were to put them in, you can always take the belly bars off, but it is a rather big fold because the seats, like, you can't move the footrest or anything. That's your whole size. As a single stroller, it is 12.3 kilos and set up as a double with 1 seat and the bassinet or carry cot. The carry cot is an additional 3.5 kilos. We will round that up to around 16 kilos, so 15 point something kilos for the double like that. I do have a video on how to wash this stroller. For the seats, all of the seat fabric can come off and go in the wash, and that is a huge big tick from me. However, with the bassinet, it is like a hard plastic tub and you can't wash this piece unless you were to put it in the bath and soak it, but it can wipe down well. However, the inside, this liner, can come off and go in the wash. So that was something that saves it, but I still like to have the whole fabric be washed. Another feature in a stroller that I'm always looking for is a pivotable belly bar. I think this just makes it so easy to get children in and out of strollers. It just gets out of the way. Moving over to comfort, I use this stroller predominantly with my twin nephews and they both seemed really comfortable in it. The only thing I'm not too sure about is the footwells, how they pop out. I just don't know if that's there's only 2 options, so it doesn't come up further. When the child is sitting flat, it still pushes the feet down. Comfort for the parent pushing. It has a really nice adjustable handle, so there's multiple positions that you can lock it into. And obviously it depends on the configurations you have to how it pushes. It does have like suspension, but I just feel like it's not the best suspension. I used it a lot going for walks. This stroller has so many configurations for the seats. Something that is good to know is that if you use these adapters here, that this seat capacity changes from 25 kilos down to 15 because of the adapter used. And also if you use the back adapters down here, they are also 15 kilos and the front are 15 kilos as well. So pretty much the seat is on the middle here with no adapter that is going to give you 25 kgs in your seat. And you also have the little board on the back where your child can stand. If you want to see a full configurations video, I have that on my channel as well. So it will go into depth and I show a lot of the seating configurations that I've worked out. Some are legit and some I've made up myself. There is so many configurations that you can find a way where your seats will be able to recline and sit up in double mode. There are so many configurations in single mode, from a bassinet to a capsule to the seat, plus the seat and a child being able to stand on the back. For the terrain, like I said, I use it mostly on walks. It could use a little bit more suspension down the bottom on the wheels, but other than that it was okay, but I would probably prefer using another stroller for an outdoor walk. The Eye Candy Orange has a lot of configurations, which means it has a lot of adapters. So it comes with 2 sets of risers and this other set of adapters for the middle. So the risers can go on the back and the front, and then these ones go in the middle. Because this stroller converts to a single pram, you can also take these off. So there's another additional 2 parts here, 2 parts here, 2 parts there, and 2 parts there. So that is 8 additional parts, as well as all of these. Plus, if you want to put your capsule at the top or the bottom, you need to get 2 different sets of adapters. So this is the top set of adapters and this is the bottom set of adapters. In order to take these off, you have to slide the little cap all the way up and then remove this part. And that's where I'm talking about, where it's 2 separate parts. So this is the back adapters that you add on, and if you're not going to use that part, or if you just want to have the stroller in single mode, you can take all of those adapters off for it to have a more clean look. However, most people I see using this stroller just keep all of them on anyways because it's just easier. The Eye Candy Orange has a huge basket. However, if you do have certain configurations in double mode, you lose a lot of your basket, but as a single you have a huge basket. For the version that I have, there is no pockets on the back for storage or anything in the bassinet, but I have seen them with a little pocket on the back. I think that it's like a special edition one though. Durability. I get a lot of my strollers secondhand for a few reasons. One is that it's cheaper and it allows me to get a few different kinds all at the same time, and 2, I like that it shows me what has been worn and what kind of can happen. So this one has some scratches on the handles here and here, which is nice because it has a raised bit and it doesn't hit the handlebar, so I absolutely like that. And then, as I showed before, it gets scratches on the front. It seems to be pretty steady and solid. I don't love the material that the hoods are made out of, as it marks really easily. There's all these white marks that I've never really been able to get off, and it is on both hoods, so there's something in the fabric that marks easily. I washed them a few times and wiped them with baby wipes and they just keep reappearing. However, this fabric is different on the inside. This is like a plain black, and then this is like a textured fabric, and it hides the marks really, really well. So you'd have to be careful about which colors you choose. I found the wheels to be a good size. However, they appeared to be just a hard rubber and not a foam filled, and I feel like it lacks some of the absorption that it could have if it was foam filled. One thing I am noticing is on the insides of the handlebars, the leatherette is starting to ripple, and there's a tiny little stitch down here, which each stroller is going to be different because you don't know where it's been, but I feel like this is a pretty common thing to happen on the handlebar. Design and style. Keeping in mind that this is a single to double stroller, you're going to have a bigger frame. I do think it is a bulkier frame. It is quite wide and the bassinet is big, which is great for a single. It becomes a little challenging with a double. You can obtain a huge amount of accessories for this stroller. There's cup holders and boot muffs. You can get different colored hoods so you can change your seat or your bassinet fabric with a different colored hood as well. You can have different colored seats, but I feel like they're moving more away from this in the newer age and going back to those like basic colors. I think it's about a 2019-2020 frame or stroller edition that we've got, and I had a look on Marketplace to buy them secondhand. You can get one from pretty much $200 right up to $950, and obviously the quality really varies. Having a look on there though, it just shows that the fabrics really fade if they're not looked after. They all seem to photograph horribly. If you're looking to purchase new, you can get the Eye Candy Orange 4 for around $1,999. If I was purchasing this stroller new, I don't know if I would have been really that happy with the price tag of $2,000. However, it does have a lot of really nice features, so there is that, but it's just probably not a stroller that I would go for brand new, but definitely wanted to give it a go, and that's why I bought it secondhand. Additional costs and accessories. When you purchase the Eye Candy Orange, it comes with pretty much everything in the box to create a single to double pram. If you want to add on other things like a second seat fabric or a second carry cot fabric, accessories, adapters and stuff like that, that's when your extra costs come into play. Then of course, if you want to put the capsule at the top, you have to buy the top adapters. If you want to put it at the bottom, you have to buy the bottom adapters. You will get the little seat pads and a seat liner and your boot cover that will come with it for free when you purchase it. But there can be a lot of accessories like your cup holders and your fuzzy foot muffs, and if you want to change hoods and stuff like that. But it can be expensive when you have all of these adapters that you need to tack on, because I think these are like $70 or $80 per set of these. So there's at least 2 there, depending on what configuration. And if you try one configuration and it doesn't work, you have to buy the other set. And if you lose parts, so I had these lost when I purchased the pram. I didn't have them. I bought these secondhand. They were cheap because this is discontinued, the black, and I was really lucky to be able to get all of the parts for it. As for maintenance, I would pull my stroller apart once a year and give it a wash through the machine, give it a wipe down once a month, and with the wheels, whenever you give the pram a wipe over, just pull them off and put some WD-40 or some silicone spray is more preferred in there, and that will just help everything moving and running smoothly. But that's pretty much care for every stroller. Some pros and cons that I personally noted while using the stroller. So I feel like it was marketed to have a lot of seat configurations, which it does because it has the front and the back adapters. I didn't enjoy the push very much. I felt it was very stiff to steer and it didn't have a lot of suspension. Something that I really do love is this board on the back that's built in. So that is just like amazing. To walk and not have one of those toddler boards behind you is a really nice feature. So maybe if my life was to change and I needed that toddler board at the back, then possibly I would buy another one, but it would be the Eye Candy Orange 4 that I looked into getting. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I do lots of videos on prams and baby items, and I'm really trying to grow my channel to 500 subscribers. So if you could please like this video and subscribe, that helps me so much. I do how to wash videos, I do reviews, and I try and get a new stroller often. I'll see you guys in my next video.